My mum's rude customer turned out to be my girlfriend. And trust me, she is rude. I'm 21 female and a lesbian. My girlfriend is 36 and bisexual. My mum had me young at 16, so she's 37 and works as a waitress at a high-end steakhouse.
What are the ages?
So the girlfriend is 36, the mum is 37. The mum had the OP when the mum was 16. Yes.
Right. Okay, cool. Yeah. I was like, something's not mathing in my brain.
Well, you know us, we're the best at maths. I just moved in with my girlfriend 2 weeks ago, after dating for 2 months. Moving in with her was a culture shock because she made close to 7 figures last year, and I'm a struggling actress/college student. So my mum is serving the lunch crowd and goes to greet a woman. This woman did not acknowledge my mum's greeting and interrupted her when she was rattling off on the specials. When her soup comes, she tells my mum her wallet costs more than what she made in a month, so be careful. She snapped her fingers to get my mum's attention, but when she came without her beckoning, she rolled her eyes and said, "Will you leave me alone?" At the end, when my mum asked if she could take her plate, she sarcastically asked if she had any other bright ideas. In the end, my mum went to take her Amex and saw the name on it and put 2 and 2 together. She got a very poor tip at the end of it. Serves you right for doing your job. Ugh.
Yeah, how dare you?
She said she's given me the information and that what I do with it is up to me. I am in denial that my girlfriend would be like this. She's always been sarcastic, but in a very attractive way. In fact, the only problems we've had is that she sometimes comes off as flirtatious to others. And I get jealous sometimes because I can see she has a lot of options. When we've gone out, she's been nice to the waiters.
How dare she?
So this very observant 21-year-old just can't fathom the idea that maybe their partner is just putting on face around them. But my mum and I have a very close relationship and are very honest with each other, and I seethe at the thought of anyone being rude to her. When I asked for what the woman was wearing, my mum told me exactly what she put on this morning.
Ooh.
Confirmation of the spice in the tea. So when my girlfriend got home, I asked if she did anything interesting today. She said, "Your mum? No, not much." And I asked if she was in a bad mood. And she asked why I would ask her. Now, she's getting suspicious because I turned down kinky times, and when I tried to talk to her again, she said she was busy. What do I do to confront this issue? And what can I do if she was just having a really bad day and this was out of character? I love her a lot, and she's been extremely generous to me, so I don't know what to do. So, as you can see, the OP immediately resorts to trying to justify how this clearly privileged and obnoxious woman could ever be an a-hole to people that she sees as less than her. But yeah, it gets worse. It comes pretty clear by the tactics the partner partakes in as a way to get revenge for. How dare this OP show any rejection towards her wanting of the smecks?
I don't think you can really justify having a bad day for being mean to, like, service staff.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a horrible day and been like, you know what? Linda, come here.
Where's a waiter? I need to punch something.
I mean, if anything, you'd be nice to the person bringing you food on a bad day. You
Well,
know? Thank you, my savior.
My Jesus.
Maybe she was just hangry.
On to the update. There was a lot of tension between me and my girlfriend after I turned down smecks the day before yesterday. I was clearly upset about what my mum told me, but I didn't know how to confront her. She, 36, ended up disappearing into her study. After the house manager finished cooking dinner and left, she came out in going out clothes and didn't say anything to me. I asked where she was going, and she said, nowhere. Just meeting up with some friends.
This is interesting relationship dynamics.
Yeah, I'm glad they're experiencing it at 21, when they're still young, as a young adult, and not when they're, mid to late 20s or 30s. They experience this already, so they know what to look out for as amazingly crimson flags. I texted her a few hours later to ask if she was coming home to eat, or if she needed a driver. She doesn't text back for a while, until she sends me back a picture of a hotel drinks tab that was in the thousands, saying she was paying for everybody. Then she stops replying to my texts. I don't know who booked the room or who she was with. I hear her stumble in at 3:30 a.m. and she reeks of booze and other random smells. She wakes up at 2 p.m. and goes to her study. I go to her study and she doesn't acknowledge me for a good minute. She finally says, "Last time I checked, you were 21, not 12. Adults speak when they have something on their minds," and tells me to out with it. Very ironic coming from the person who's been avoiding her the entire time. So I confront her about being rude to her waitress, my mum. She says that I have been sulky all week and she's been walking on eggshells since last Monday, even though I thought we were perfectly happy then. She acknowledges that she was at the restaurant, but said none of what I accused her of ever happened. She said that she was served by multiple people and said that at fancy restaurants, waitresses should know to only approach when the customer beckons, and she lightly recalls one of them breaking such protocol.
What? What protocol is that?
When I ask who she was with last night, she says she's getting bad vibes from this conversation and tells me to leave if I'm going to be a baby. Again, the irony of accusing OP of being a child when you can't even communicate yourself. I'm pretty close to crying, and she says she's been thinking, and this relationship is giving her bad vibes, and maybe I wasn't ready for an adult relationship, and that she clearly misjudged my maturity.
What did you expect dating a 21-year-old?
This woman who's over a decade younger than me doesn't have the same decades of experience in the world? Oh,
She doesn't know basic restaurant protocols either.
Yeah, well, clearly.
How dare she?
Oh.
Can't take her out to dinner.
Can't take her to a McDonald's without her wanting to go on the playground. I start crying and saying that she was the most successful person I've ever met, and I think she's too good to be true, and a long thing about how I felt she's too good to me, which scares me now, because everything I said was completely from the heart. She then says that when she met me, it was like the stars aligned. She asks if the life advice she gave me was not helping, if this relationship already was not changing my entire life forever.
Do you reckon she's like sugar mummying
Oh,
this girl?
absolutely. I think this is a clear
Yeah.
case of it's not a man for once. Being, I'm providing all this for you, I'm treating you, I'm making you special. No one else can treat you like this. You have to stay with me. And you have to just shut up, be silent, give me sex when I want it, because I make the money. It's, yeah. Completely toxic. She reminded me that I was living with 4 roommates, and now I live like the 1%, and she's helping put me through school. She said she even introduced me to her well-connected friends, and when she told them how I was acting, they were so sorry for her. But she told them that bad moments happen to the best of us. Aww,
So
she
she's
thought about
treating-
you. Oh, wow.
So she's treating her girlfriend like a charity case?
Absolutely.
Oh boy.
And this is only the first update. There is another update which gets even worse with the ex coming back into the picture.
Oh.
I asked her if she would consider meeting my mum to at least talk things out, and she said she didn't want to meet my mum right now. She wants to help improve my life. This morning, she told me to pick out a dream tote I could use for the next semester, and joked I was becoming spoiled. Yes, throw money at the problem with the relationship. That works.
That's so weird, offering a gift and then being like, you accepted this gift, you spoilt brat.
I called my mum, and she said I needed to stick to the things I knew to be true, and that she's never lied to me before. But what terrifies me is how unprepared I was for her reaction, or how scared I was when she asked me to leave. I don't know what to do. I feel ashamed that I set out to get answers and I screwed up. And now I feel ungrateful and like I'm self-destructing my life. She still works extensively with her ex-husband of 11 years, and I feel like I'll never measure up to him. Well, you don't have a Willy, so that, you're already setting a bad benchmark.
Store-bought is just as good.
Okay, on to the little side update, which was like an Am I the A-hole post, which was titled, Am I the a-hole for voicing my discomfort about my girlfriend's ex-husband staying over? My girlfriend, 36, her ex-husband, 43 male, started a company together 11 years ago. After they divorced, they agreed to continue to run the company together. So I get that they would see each other during work hours. However, yesterday, her ex-husband came over after dinner, and my girlfriend said they were going to work on a project.
In the study.
They are still in her office when I doze
Oh.
off. I wake up in the morning assuming he went home, since it was only a 5-mile drive from the house we were vacationing in East Hampton to Bridgehampton, where his house was, and it wasn't that late. What a coincidence, they just happened to be going on holidays to where he happens to live.
Yeah, it's weird to be working on a project together, not at your home,
Yeah.
but in close holidaying proximity. We both decided to go to the Hamptons. How convenient.
Yet when I walk into the kitchen, I see him casually pouring himself a cup of coffee and asking me if I like hash browns. I don't know if I'm just not a morning person, but it was pretty triggering because he had owned this house before their divorce, and he was clearly more at home in it than me. My girlfriend walks in and they start talking and were ignoring my attempts to join the conversation. It was not about work, just small talk, until I was practically pulling on my girlfriend's sleeve to get her attention. I ask her why he stayed over and why he could not have gone home. She gets offended and says I'm being rude and insecure, and that she was just being a hospitable business partner. Her ex-husband starts petting the dog and says that it was his fault and he just missed the dog, but sits down and makes no motion to leave. Oh, wow. I immediately feel bad because I didn't want to keep him from his dog. My girlfriend says when you do business together, you're not supposed to mean to your business partner. Or supposed to be mean to your business partner, I assume. Then she says that she has a problem with my mum and is well within her rights to complain to the owner about my mum breaching her privacy, but she didn't.
You're
When my
in a
mum told me.
public setting.
Oh,
You are at a
wow.
restaurant.
She's
You're
literally
going to complain to her boss for her doing her job?
like, how can you
How
not
do you
see
think that's going to
this?
go down?
She's
Excuse
threatening
me,
to
sir.
get your mum fired out of
Yeah.
pettiness. Yeah, so she asked him by the L for complaining about this. But okay, moving on to the second update of this all. Now, the mum causes some tension in it as well, so it's even more drama. Lovely, that's what we're here for. Am I the a-hole for refusing to choose between my mum and my girlfriend? My mum served my girlfriend at the steakhouse she worked. She said my girlfriend, who didn't know she was my mum at the time, was outlandishly rude, and that she knew it was my girlfriend after she saw the name on her card. So after that, I ended up confronting my girlfriend, and we had a days-long fight, our first fight ever, over this before things went back to normal. However, yesterday, my mum calls and tells me she's been placed on leave from work because my girlfriend contacted the owner and said that she exposed her information to a third party and that she felt her privacy has been violated.
Oh my
She
goodness.
went through with it. At this point,
Like-
the OP deserves this. Like, just sticking with this woman. The restaurant owner happens to know my girlfriend in passing, very distant acquaintance. My mum says my girlfriend exaggerated her tale to the owner, saying she rattled off numbers of her Amex card to me and also exaggerated the stuff that my mum accused her of.
This woman does not want to build any healthy relationships.
No, she clearly just wants your young, supple body for her pleasure, and she just wants you to be silent and submissive about it. My mom said since it is a she said situation, that is such a weird thing to say, she said. She needed me to tell the owner she only described her general behavior and a few true comments that stuck out. Now, I love my mom, but my life with my girlfriend is so intertwined at this point. We're vacationing in the Hamptons, but I moved in with her back in Los Angeles, where I am going to college. She's helped me book acting jobs, and I only secured a future internship through her. My girlfriend literally got on her knees, cried, and said she worked so hard for everything she had in life, and what my mum said about her could have destroyed her, and that she didn't want to lose me.
What did the mum say about her? She's not a nice lady?
Yeah. She
was
said, just said to her own daughter, hey, your girlfriend's a bit of an a-hole. Oh yeah, you're ruined. When my mum called again, I expressed how angry I was that she was giving me this ultimatum and that I wasn't getting involved. She gets tearful and accuses me of resenting her for not giving me a privileged life. My grandma calls me angrily and said that I was being a bad daughter who they didn't raise to become this. She refuses to listen to the fact that I'm alone and possibly homeless if I chose sides.
I mean, you're always going to have a family. This woman is just, what's the word? Alienate. They
Yes.
alienate you from like your close loved ones until you're their only source of like happiness and joy.
Yeah, like isolating us up. It's abusive,
Yeah,
abusive
isolating, that's
relationship
probably
behavior.
better.
This is all ticking the signs.
Yeah.
So am I the a-hole? I feel like I should have the right to choose not to get involved in situations that are between my mum and my girlfriend? Am I the a-hole for refusing to burn bridges when I don't have to? And that's the irony, though. The very fact you are not taking an action here is burning a bridge. Wow.
How long have they been together?
The top of the story does say, I just moved with my girlfriend after dating for 2 months. This isn't even like a year long.
This is less than 3 months of ordeal and you're still like, oh, it might get better.
Yeah.
Oh, she's giving me all these opportunities. Yeah. And now you're
Financial
paying for
opportunities. Like, but okay, but the emotional stress and,
Yeah, and
I
now
can only
all of
imagine.
your college, internship, and acting jobs are tied to her.
Yeah.
And she can just pull that rug out from under you and be like, sorry, no.
Like, is this an opportunity you've been given, or are you just a prison sentence, really? It feels more like you're trapped rather than actually, Yeah, the biggest comment about this all is just, that's the start of an abusive relationship. I mean, what would you do if you were in this situation, Emily?
I don't think I'd ever be in this situation.
Yeah, no, it would be stupid enough to. But let's say you were.
No, it's not even that. She's obviously seeking, like, security and stability.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's like what's the female version of a knight? I mean, it's a knight, I guess, if we're going like
knightess.
Yeah, just a knight. This knight in shining armor comes down and is like, I can give you everything you need, baby. Don't you worry about it. And she's like, oh, thank you. And now the repercussions are coming in, and she's like,
turns out the stuff wasn't free. Yeah.
Maybe I should have dated her for more than 2 weeks before moving in together and knowing what she is really like as a human being.
Am I the a-hole for throwing my sister and her son out of my house? Depends how good of a throw you've got. I'm a 35-year-old male, and I'm a single father of 3 boys, 10, 7, and 3. Their mother died last year due to ovarian cancer. It has been a rough year, to say the least. My sister got divorced 6 months ago, and temporarily moved in with me and the boys. She has a son, my nephew, who's 9, who stays with us most of the time. My nephew and my 10-year-old are not the best of friends, but so far they get along fine, apart from some teasing from both sides. A few weeks ago, my 10-year-old started telling me that his cousin was bullying him and being mean to him. He called him names, pushed him around, took his video games, etc. I talked to my sister many times and told her to talk to her son. We talked to the boys together and things settled down. Yesterday was my 3-year-old's birthday, so my whole family was here and my late wife's family as well. It was extremely emotional for everyone because it was the first birthday since my wife's been gone. The boys, 10-year-old and 9-year-old, started fighting again, and I asked them both to calm down and behave. My son started crying and told me his cousin teased him about him not having a mum. Yeah, not the best thing to say in this environment. I choked up and asked my nephew if that was true, and he said yes, but that he's sorry. I figured I'd have a proper talk with him and my sister after the party. So I just told him what he said was really awful and he cannot say it again. I comforted my son and we went back to the party. Before we cut the cake, my sister came yelling at me, saying I had no business disciplining her child. I told her to drop it and we'll talk later. Instead, she said, besides, he's right. Kids need a mum. I had tears in my eyes by that time and just said, see, oh my gosh, I had tears in my eyes by that time. And she just said, see, it's even turning you into that word that I'm not sure if YouTube affects my retention and stuff if I say it out loud. My in-laws were crying. I was tearing up. My kids were upset. Just awful. I told her to stop it and just leave me and the kids and the family to cut the cake and we will talk in the evening. She said, listen, we both lost our spouses, but at least I'm still a normal person.
Oh, I think divorce and death are very different. One's still alive.
Wow.
One can still take care of your children and be there as an emotional support. The other, not so much.
Yeah. Let's have the two exes of these families stand next to each other. We've got the man here and dirt. Okay. She stormed off. After the party, I told her she has 2 days to pack her stuff and leave. She is begging me not to throw her out because she and her kid will be homeless. Am I the a-hole for throwing her out?
I thought kids needed a mother. And there you are.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Your kid's got a mum? What? A house too? Wow, it doesn't sound like you really cared about that necessity. Straight to the top comment here. Natar, your wife died. That's significantly different from being divorced. Good job protecting your children from her poisonous attitude, and crying due to grief is hardly being a pootie, so good on you for showing your boys that.
That's just so wild. Like, how did she get those thoughts in her brain and think that that was okay to say at a 3-year-old's birthday party?
Oh, it's fascinating the way people can go. Oh, someone's taking this a bit personally. This is such an obvious rage bait post with the intention of demonizing single mothers. Anyone who believes that someone this cartoonishly evil actually exists has never once interacted with another human being.
What about single fathers?
Yeah.
He's got a deceased wife and 3 young boys to raise now.
Some people think 2 days isn't enough. You know, you let everything calm down. Still probably get them out of your house, but give them time to sort their stuff out.
I don't think anything is going to change if you let them calm down.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like the way she speaks. Like, she clearly is just all about herself. Some more detail. So she has just been staying here as in crashing at her friend's or something. There is no paperwork. She doesn't get her mail here or anything like that. Do you think she would still be considered a tenant? If the law says she must have 30 days, I'll just take my kids to the hotel or something like that.
Wouldn't she just like then step in and claim squatters' rights? Now, this is my house
Oh,
now.
absolutely. Yeah. Ooh, that's something to consider. That's what becomes a bit risky. But yeah, I mean, if she's just a guest and stuff, then yeah, you actually can just immediately kick her out.
Oh, this is exciting.
Okay, so am I the a-hole for refusing to take down a picture of my brother in my house after his girlfriend asked me to? So the OP is a female, so this clearly sounds like an immediate case of a jealous girlfriend about their sister?
Yeah, how dare you think about my boyfriend, your brother, that way?
Meanwhile,
Like,
down in the comments, I mean, she's caught us making out like twice, but I don't think it's a big deal. So I'm a 27-year-old female, and I have an individual pictures of my immediate family members in my house, including pictures of my brother, who's 25, our dad, and our mum. I invited my brother and his girlfriend to my house for dinner a couple nights ago, and I showed my brother's girlfriend around because she's never been inside my house before. We came across the picture I have of my little brother. His girlfriend asked me why I had a picture of him, and I said it's because he's my baby brother. Why wouldn't I have a picture of him? She then told me I had no right to have that picture in my house. What? Oh, wow.
He's mine. Back off. I'm the only woman in his life.
My brother heard us arguing and came over. We explained the situation, and my brother said he was perfectly okay with me having a picture of him inside my house. His girlfriend started throwing a fit on how it was so freaking weird, and she ended up leaving my house and causing my brother to run after her. Bro, leave her. That is...
Just keep running, though. Just run past her and keep going. See ya.
Just run past her. Add another picture of your brother every time she comes over. Oh my god, it gets even better. Get a shirt with his face printed on it. Don't forget a set of cushion covers for the sofa and a photo blanket. Yeah, okay, yeah. Pajamas would be taking it too far, I guess. Yeah. Though people disagree. Nah, wallpaper is also needed. And on the outside. You know what? Buy a house shaped like your brother. In a town full of houses. Okay, this just sounds like someone needs to make this on The Sims or something.
I think she should sneak photos of herself into her brother's house every time she goes over. Not obvious ones, just like the girlfriend will open a cupboard and there's her face. I just wanted cereal.
Info, is the girlfriend from Alabama, where family is the competition? Point. That might make me say that, yeah, you are the a-hole, actually. How hot is she? She's attractive for sure. OP, why did you bother to answer this question? To explain why her brother stuck his pee-pee in crazy. Man, people are going to town with these comments. So, info, where in the house is the picture? Is it with the picture of your mum and your dad? She's an a-hole regardless for telling you what you can and can't have in your own home, but the context of the picture is needed to determine why she got so upset about it. Can you explain? Or like if the photo was a life-size nude poster that she taped to the ceiling above her bed? Yeah, that might be a little weird. I agree, it's just a slight weirdness there. But I mean, if he was fully clothed on the ceiling, then yeah, it's fine.
Or it's him sleeping.
It's a
You
photo.
always like to sleep next to him. She's got a body pillow with his like body printed on it and his face, and he's asleep, and she's like, I hug it to sleep every night.
Well, look, if she's got photos of the brother, clearly she's into her mum and dad too. That's the only logic that makes sense here. You don't have photos of your family unless you want to sleep with them. Okay, my camera's about to run out of battery. Give me a second. Well, friends, that's going to end today's stories. As always, thank you for watching. All your support goes a long way. You know, liking, the subscribing, all the blah, 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 blahs. Thank you, as always, if you do that on the daily with these videos. We love your faces. Emily, say the goodbye-byes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, and we'll see you next time. Hooroo. Woo!